Hi everyone, very good morning and welcome back to CGB Mentors. So today we are going to do the news analysis for 21st June, and before that, as we always do, we have to start with the data for descriptive sessions. So for the data for descriptive, I have two news items that I have discussed previously as well. First of all, the India Semiconductor Mission, where the government is offering the incentive of 50% capital expenditure. There are states like Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, they are matching the incentives so that they can attract the chip manufacturers. For example, we have seen that the Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, they are offering incentives up to 50% so that they can attract the chip manufacturers in their states, right? Yes, India is seen as a trusted alternative, but is still lagging behind the Malaysia and Singapore. They have developed these semiconductor ecosystems over the period of 25 years and which we have not been able to do so. Right? Then there is an item on tax theft. So it has been found out that 3,260 unrecognized political parties, they have received a funding of 10,000 plus crores in donations. Out of these, many have didn't contest the elections, and that is why this raises the concern of money laundering. So when you are writing for a topic of finance in India, and you have to prove the point of money laundering. This is one of the mechanisms how these parties do the money laundering or use the illegal money, right? So to prevent that, Income Tax Department has issued the compulsory scrutiny guidelines for the financial year 26. Now, moving forward and starting with our news items for today, the first and foremost one that I have for today is core sector growth slows to 0.7% in May. See, we want to measure that how our industries are performing, right? We want to know that. So for that, we have an index called as IIP, Index of Industrial Production. Through this, we see that what is the volume production of our entities or our industries, and on that basis we decide that whether they are doing good or not. That also tells you that how the economic activity is in the economy, right? So in this index of industrial production, 40.2% weightage is of 8 core industries, right? 8 core industries. What are these 8 core industries? Let me tell you. So over here, see, there are certain industries which form the backbone of your economy. Backbone like refinery products, right? Like your coal, like your crude oil, right? Like your gas, natural gas. Apart from that, your steel, cement, right? Your what you can say fertilizers and electricity, right? So these are your 8 core industries. Out of this, if anyone asks you which particular industry has got the highest weightage in the 8 core, so out of these 8 industries, the refinery one has got the highest weightage in the 8 core industries, and the fertilizers one has got the lowest weightage. Now, this particular article is suggesting us that the India's core sector growth across 8 industries has slowed down to a 9-month low. Now, why there has been such a low? So, for example, article gives us such data that the pre-monsoon showers which have happened that have impacted the electricity production, राइट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन कम हुआ है इसके अलावा दे आर ऑल्सो टेलिंग अस कि देर आर global oil disruptions or the crude oil disruptions because of obviously the war that has happened, right? If you will see, there has been data given for steel and the other sectors separately, but we don't have to go through. We just have to remember this main headline. We have to understand that there is an index called as Index of Industrial Production. Out of that, in this index, there are 8 core industries in which refinery has got the highest weightage and fertilizers have the lowest weightage, right? So this is what this article talks about. Moving on to our next article, that is simplify GST registration grievance redressal. So over here there was a meet of CBIC, right? CBIC conclave, where Finance Minister has suggested some of the steps that how we can improve the GST system. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे GST related काफी सारे recommendation किए गए हैं. That see, number one, they have said that right now total number of registered GST payers in India is 1.52 crore. But we have to streamline the registration process because it is facing so many problems. There have been delays, right? Apart from that, rejection happens कि आपका registration नहीं हो पाएगा for so and so reason. So she has said that we have to streamline this. We should be having a CGST in all GST zone heads. We should be having a dedicated help desk for the GST registration pairs, right? Apart from that, she has said that the GST Seva Kendra and Custom Turant Suvidha Kendra should be well staffed, accessible, right? Whatever vacancies are there in the office should be filled up really quickly, right? There has been this particular data has been given where the CBIC has reported in the parliamentary committee that right now, if you will see, as on September 1st, 2024, the total sanctioned strength is 84,000, जिसमें से 52,000 filled है, and there is 38% posts which are vacant. ठीक है, इतनी post vacant है, so that is why CBIC has been instructed to fill up all these posts so that we can improve with the GST, right? Now, next article that we have is SEBI Mills guidelines for the responsible usage of AI as well as the machine learning. See, we all know that AI is changing landscape, not just in our regular day-to-day works, but also in stock exchanges also. How AI can be used in the secondary market? See this. It is being used for advisory, for risk management, for client identification, for surveillance, for pattern recognition, and for cybersecurity. So SEBI is saying that we are going to bring in with the high principles on how we can handle this AI and the machine learning system. They have said that wherever, if you have direct interaction with the client, right, and you are using AI and machine learning, the regulation that we are going to impose will be stricter. But if you are using it for your in-house functions, right, then we will be having the lighter compliance rules for you. So this article tells us that in the secondary market also AI can be used in these ways, and that is why SEBI is trying to bring in the guidelines so that there can be responsible use of AI. Moving on to our next article that talks about gold prices eases as Fed holds the rates. Now over here, what is happening? We all know that right now there are tensions that is going on in the West Asia. Now, as the market disrupts, investors like to invest in the safe assets. ठीक है, वो चाहते हैं कि हम safe assets में invest करें, जैसे कि हो गया आपका gold. But right now, US Fed, just like RBI is there for us. Similarly, in the US, they have the Federal Reserve, right? So what they have done is they have tried not to keep the rate changed, right? So that is why on Wednesday the Fed Reserve held the interest rate unchanged at 4.25%, right? So over here, now what the investors are thinking that instead of investing in gold, why not to invest in the US bonds? right? Because it's offering the interest rate at 4.25% and it's safer also. And let me tell you, when you invest in gold, you do not earn any kind of interest income. कुछ आप interest income तो कमाते नहीं हो, but अगर आप US bonds में invest करोगे, then you are going to earn interest. And also, US Fed has not cut the interest rates cut नहीं की हैं. So when they have not cut the interest rate, this is very good. What you can say, for investors, it's a very good investment opportunity, and that is why they have invested over there. And that this is why this article also suggests that if you will see, there has been decline in the gold prices, right? Now it is 98,691 for 10 grams, and earlier it has reached around 99,454, right? So this is what the market high was, but now it has eased out. And one impact is also the US Fed Reserve interest rates. What are the interest rates that they are offering onto the bonds or the US government securities? So this was it for today. There was not much of the news articles, but this is what was important for our conceptual understanding. I hope you would have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do not forget to like this. Thank you so much for joining in.